to be the descendants of the people of this land that have been here since time immemorial, and to be able to be in this place as a sovereign nation and to be making decisions for our tribal members still today is incredible. When there is respect, when there is conversations and coordination and communication, that our work is much easier. So we talk about this word consultation a lot. What does that mean? And it's different for every tribe. I will recognize that now. I do not speak for any other tribe but my own. And it is really just about the fact that it is recognized if you're going to be doing work in our homelands, that you reach out. If the tribes don't have a say in those conversations, things are missed. And I don't believe, again, that that is intentional, but you don't know what you don't know. And if you are willing and just understanding that it might take a little bit longer, it might cost a little more, but the end result of whatever project that is going to be much better. But you can't make decisions, formal decisions, without the decision makers talking to the decision makers of Oregon's tribal nations. Don't put a policy in front of me that's already written. Consultation is really a formal discussion. That is decision makers meeting with the tribal council. That is really coming to the table in the very beginning too, in talking about ideas. And we recently met for consultation with BOEM on the wind energy projects that are being planned out off of our coast. This is something new for us, for green energy projects, and the Coquille Indian tribe is in support of any efforts environmentally to do things in a better way. And we want to be at the table to have those conversations. You can't expect to have time with the governor of the state of Oregon within 2 weeks. Please remember, tribal leaders are very busy, and we get a lot of Dear Tribal Leader letters. If you're not hearing back from us, please keep reaching out, because the tribes are great partners.
And you can wrap as many times as you want to get it tighter.
One of the things that I've seen grow and expand through a lot of our work is the understanding and acceptance and appreciation for tribal best practices, and letting tribes kind of lead the way on how funds are spent to support the youth in their communities. And one of those funding sources allowed us to build and practice the canoe culture with the youth. The youth have their own canoe. A lot of the experiences with federal agencies and understanding just Native American cultures and the differences between the tribes across, the United States. But when you're talking about just one state like Oregon and the 9 federally recognized tribes of Oregon, each tribe is different in the way that they govern and manage, and there might be a lot of similarities, but there are differences. And I think that that's something that's very unique to us, that we get to embrace that, instill that, that understanding and that connection for our youth and future leaders.
Practice the day before. It's either the day before or right before.
So the canoe was one of the first real collaborative efforts in developing the grant, and I don't know if it would be elevated to the level of tribal consultation as far as government to government, but it was the first time that we really got to sit down with that state agency and discuss what was important and how we could still reach these prevention measures that the state needed in the way that the tribe needed to do it, and how we needed to do it for our youth and our community, and really focusing on that positive interaction and the healing part of getting the kids involved in something like the canoe and culturally grounded and a piece of their identity that counteracts the negative.
And he says, she shoot.
That means good.
Yeah, I'm good. She shoot. Can y'all say she shoot?
We can lead by great examples of how resilient Native American people can be and are. So I think that, you know, when we are working on that government to government level and that state agency level, if we're part of those conversations, if we're part of that planning, if it's really meaningful consultation from the beginning, that amazing work can be done that benefits all.
I thought you wanted to make one of those signs, Christmas signs, welcome sign, or whatever they're making this year.
Ooh, yeah. So December. That's December.
I would say the most tribal consultation that I have been lucky to be a part of is with ODE. The government to government education cluster is a really, although it's not perfect, it has come a really long way, and it has a lot of amazing components that invite tribes to the table. So tribal consultation is important, especially if it has to do with our people and our land, or anything about our people, because we know best. Of course, you would want people sitting at the table that know the best of what you're talking about and what you're trying to come up with. And I think, well, I know tribes need consulted at the beginning, not the middle and not the end. Definitely not the end. And I think when tribes are consulted by other governments, the outcome is so much better.
I'm really proud of how Oregon and the tribes have worked together. I think they are an example of what is possible in the United States when we talk about tribal and state relationships. There were a lot of opportunities that were created by state leaders and partners across the state agencies. We talked about creating a Alaska Native American Indian State Plan. We had great partners with the Oregon Department of Education. We had a great leader in our tribal clusters, and we started drilling down on what does it mean to create an environment where students feel safe enough to talk about who they are. A lot of work has been done. Very proud of our work with Oregon Department of Education and the leadership that has come out of that agency to help advance these initiatives, the strategic plan, and not only identifying the strategic plan action items, but investing in those. It's about relationships. It's not about just sending an email or a calendar. It is about picking up the phone and having the conversation. Tribes get inundated with requests, consultation requests, calendar invites, and then really just picking up the phone and having that conversation oftentimes is the fastest track to get to the tribe around consultation. There are a lot of examples of tribes working with state agencies on with great outcomes around things that we've achieved through meaningful consultation. One of the most important for the Coquille tribe is a recent consultation with the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife and the creation of a co-management agreement. They have knowledge. They know the land, they know the resources, they know the stories, they carry those things. This ODF&W co-management agreement says not only can our tribal youth, our tribal members come sit at the table and listen, but we get to participate and drive the directives for the work that needs to happen to make our environment healthy. Everybody needs our environment and our land and our water healthy. We all need this. This is just one more opportunity for my sons to sit at the table and say, I know this about my river, I know what's happening, and I want to tell you about this thing. And people are going to listen. That's one of the great examples of meaningful consultation.
Right?